We're talking about those flooded communities. What has the response been so far?
Absolutely. I'll give you a little bit of an update, just so you're aware. It sounds like you've already been talking about it. There's two rivers that are currently in major flood stage in Thurston County. One is Chehalis at the Grand Mound area, as well as the Skookumchuck at Bucota. The Skookumchuck at Bucota currently has crested and is starting to head down over the next several hours. The Chehalis is expected to crest around 4 o'clock this morning. And right now, the images that you see here are characteristic of what we're seeing throughout Southwest Washington right now.
And at this point, I want to ask you, what is an evacuant advisement? So when people hear that, what should they know as compared to an actual evacuation order? Absolutely.
So right now we have 3 types of evacuations listed in Thurston County. They're listed as level 1, 2, and 3. The easy way to remember those, Marissa, is ready, set, go. So level 1 evacuation notices are for those areas that could be impacted. So that's a level 1. The set is getting all of your things prepared for a most likely issue of an evacuation. And go is that you really do need to evacuate your residents.
And Ben, we're looking at these aerial footage of the flooding, and speckled in all of that are people's property, their homes, their vehicles. What do you advise people to do when the water starts to rise around their home?
Absolutely. There's a couple things that you can do that are incredibly important. A, you need to know your risk, especially when in the long term and the short term. In the long term, identify whether or not you're buying a property in floodplains, or identify if you own a property in floodplains. In the short term, make sure you keep yourself informed with weather reports and also local alerts from emergency management systems within your local, state, and regional areas. Next is plan for evacuation. All of our areas that are currently under a variety of evacuation recommendations, levels 1, 2, and 3 did receive notices, both through electronic notification and home-to-home delivery through our Sheriff's Department.
And when you look at these, whether it's a picture, aerial footage, it just seems so widespread, Ben. So you've been there, you work for one of the emergency agencies, you respond to things like this. How would you compare the flooding that you're seeing right now to what you've seen before?
I'd say this is extensive flooding. In terms of multiple rivers ending up in the major flood stage, our Skookumchuck River at Bucota is hitting near record highs in terms of the flood elevation, if you will, on the river. Additionally, we're seeing an I-5 closure that's just been issued between Thurston and Lewis counties on the south end of Thurston County, where we're located. I-5 has been closed between exits 66 and 88 on I-5. Washington State Department of Transportation has not issued when they will reopen that at this time, and it's impacting travel. So in terms of our essential workers, healthcare providers, law enforcement, and any other routine travel that's necessary along the I-5 corridor.
Yeah, really getting around Washington at this point. The I-5 corridor, you have the passes closed in the Cascade Mountains, and it's just a difficult day for everybody to be out and about. So Ben Miller, Todd, thank you so much for checking in with us. We will continue to follow all the developments out of Washington State. Be safe out there.
I'm Amy Freeze. Welcome to Fox Weather's YouTube page. We have more great videos on the way, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated on all things weather.